Hey loves, welcome back to TigeraGitana. Today I'm gonna do a little bit of an update. I am in my new space. I am sitting here, my girlfriend's pretty, and I am just kind of recovering my energy from these past couple of weeks that we've been having. It's like there's definitely a lot of stuff going on right now. I feel like within society, and we have talked about it here and there, and I know I kind of have been a little bit MIA, and I want to explain why. So as of right now, with what's going on in the United States and the world, quite frankly, because I live in the tri-state area, and I mean, I guess this would have been if I lived anywhere, but I work aside from my own business with what I do here. I work at a grocery store slash supermarket, mostly like kind of a grocery store kind of ish. And it was really funny because last year when I set my intention to work for this company, I said this would be the last corporate type like big business type thing I would do, and I would only do it because I would want to eat healthier, have access to food that is less expensive because I would have a discount, and also because I love the company itself as a brand, and I feel like they do a lot of really good things. So I was like, that's the only one, and I manifested it very quickly. It came to me very quickly, and literally it just happened like 1 2 3. I had the job, and it just like it's been amazing since there. But because of the coronavirus pandemic situation, and no, I didn't get sick or anything like that. That's not what the update is. But because I work for a grocery store, that makes me an essential personnel situation. And what that does is that it kind of really, first and foremost, it puts us in the front lines of the pandemic itself, and it can definitely be scary to an extent because yes, there's an importance to what my role is, because if grocery stores are not open, people cannot eat. Not everybody has their own farm, not everybody grows their own food, not everybody like is living in the old days where like food was distributed differently. If you need food, you're going to a grocery store or supermarket, especially if you live in the city, especially if you live in an area like I do. That's just what it is. There's no if, ands, or buts, unless you're literally growing everything. You got like meat and poultry if you eat that stuff, growing in your backyard and all that stuff ready to go just in case a pandemic happens. Regardless of that, it makes it so I work in a very important place. We're at the front lines with hospitals and pharmacies, and we also are not allowed to close because of this. And I definitely feel for the people who have lost their jobs, because I know a lot of my friends have lost their jobs during this pandemic. Because of this whole entire situation, what people have kind of tend to forgotten about, and not everybody does, because I do get a lot of thank yous throughout the day, and not that I'm like asking anybody to give me a thank you or anything like that, but people do recognize when I'm there and I'm working and I'm putting out stuff, and you know, and we're trying to kind of help how many people we can get what they need and, you know, be good to go. It's that we're getting exposed to everybody every single day. You don't never know who's walking in, and granted, my company has been doing a lot to kind of keep us safe and keep people safe. We have started only allowing 50 people in the store at a time. You get hand sanitized before while you're coming into the store. If you're waiting online to outside to come into the store, you have to be 6 feet away. And all the registers are on odd numbers, so basically it skips a number, so there's a good amount of distance between people ringing as well. So we do have like tried to do like the best we can, and we're also sanitizing every hour and doing like, you know, everything, but at the same time you don't know who's walking in. We're literally at the front lines. We're getting exposed to whoever wants to go shopping, and it can seem very scary, mainly on an anxiety level. I feel like I'm more anxious the past couple of weeks just because I've worked probably the hardest the past couple of weeks. And as much as I, work regularly, I mean, you guys know I'm a Capricorn. I'm a very hard worker. I like to, do my best at all times. But this whole pandemic has made it so it's like not only we got like cleaned out of food for this whole week straight. People were just buying everything. It was super scary. The staff was getting scared, so we started buying food too. I literally got food for like 4 months, okay? But it's again, it's a good thing that I'm there because I got access to food. I saw what we were putting out as well, so I got to buy food first as well. That's one of the other things that's happening. We can buy before the store opens and after the store closes, because we get multiple trucks during the day. So it's really cool that I get access to food really easily during a situation like this. But it also, I've been literally everybody, the whole staff, we've been like started doing overnights. We were trying to literally fill up the shelves, making sure things are still clean. And it's like we've been working so hard that my body has just been exhausted. And then after I get out of work, I'm still exhausted and I'm also anxious. I'm wearing gloves, I'm making sure I'm not touching anything. And my precaution stems from the fact that, first and foremost, my girlfriend is diabetic. So I am the picture of health when it comes to like, if you are a doctor and you ask me, okay, are you allergic to anything? No. Are you, do you have any type of like illnesses, anything you take medication for? No. I literally don't have, I'm like the patient that goes to the doctor that gets out in like 15 minutes after they peed on whatever the hell they peed on and the test came out fine. Like I'm fine. I don't have any type of those type of issues. However, my girlfriend's diabetic. Therefore, because she has a pre-existing condition, she is more susceptible to, getting something like this on the worst end and having it affect her body on a worse level than if I had it. I probably wouldn't even feel it and it would just go away, but then I could be a carrier of it and then pass it on to others, which is why I've been so like anxious. And I'm very like, also, if you know me in person, I'm a germaphobe. I'm a super germaphobe, especially in bathrooms, especially where my hand touches. I wash my hands religiously. I don't play around with like different, like if I know I'm like, okay, I'm about to put something in my mouth, like was my hand clean? Like I'm always talking to myself about certain things like this. Like I am a huge germaphobe, if you know me in person. And now that you don't know me in person, you know now that I'm a huge germaphobe. So I'm always keeping myself clean, but now it's just like on this anxiety level of, okay, I have to make sure all surfaces are wiped down and everything. And also being in prayer and asking every single day for my angels, my guides, and the angels and guides to protect my girlfriend as well, to protect her while she works, because she works in the city. And it's also scary because she also works at a grocery store, supermarket, a very bougie one, and she also gets exposed to people every single day. So it's kind of like we're both kind of on the same boat, and it's great that we both have jobs right now. Not that I'm bragging, but also, by the way, if you are out of a job, you should apply to probably a grocery store or supermarket, because they definitely need the extra hands. And my store has been hiring like crazy because we need the extra hands. There's just like, there's always a lot to do. Even when there's not anything to do, we're wiping down the store and sanitizing everything. So there's always a lot of stuff going on. And at the end of the day, it's so funny that it took this pandemic to kind of remind people that people need to do a couple of things. People are going to need medicine, people are going to need food, and people are going to need healers. And those three things translate in different ways, because they also can translate on a spiritual sense, especially because healing doesn't just translate to, shoot me with whatever's in a needle. And there is a mirroring effect that happens to what healing is, what nourishment is, what medicine looks like, what food looks like as well, what your healers look like. as well. And it's so funny that it came back down to those three things, even though there are certain things that are also essential. Like if you're obviously you're managing a building, you're also an essential, and certain other aspects of life that make you an essential personnel. But those three things are the most important three things, because you need medicine, you need to eat, and you need, if you are sick, you need a healer, you need a doctor. So it's really interesting how everything's been going on, and I have my girlfriend taking her vitamins, her supplements every single day. I am not playing around. She's always taking tinctures, especially because her anxiety level has been so high as well. Me and her sometimes don't get to sleep that much just because we're still anxious. And ways that I've alleviated that is with different tinctures, especially for her. Before she goes to sleep, I'll give her some passion flower tincture in like just like a tea with chamomile specifically is like has been her favorite right before going to sleep. And I've been doing chamomile tea as well, or peppermint tea, and then I'll put in some chamomile tincture in mine, just because it works as a calming, and just right before you go to sleep. And I've been working with chamomile specifically because we're in Aries season. Chamomile's the element is fire. Even though it is a very calming plant, the element is still fire. So it's working in correlation to the actual energy of what we have right now, because it's a fire herb, but it has other properties for relaxing. So I've been doing my best and making sure that she is supported, and we're giving each other massages like every night, and it's been definitely hard. It's a lot of anxiety, because it's just, there's 50% of the United States is estimated to get this. And again, it's not that I'm afraid that I'm going to get it. I don't care if I get it, but I care because I can get my girlfriend sick, or I can get other people sick, or if I'm at work and I'm in contact with an elderly person because they came to do their groceries, you know, that is what scares me. I'm not as afraid of me physically getting it myself. I'm afraid of who I interact with, which is more anxious for me, because again, I'm very, hygienic, and I don't, I'm very mindful, and because I'm mindful, I'm always thinking about it. And it's definitely, there are things that are definitely out of, our control, but it does bring a level of anxiety. And with the anxiety, I've been just fueling it into work and making sure I'm doing what I can, pushing out as much food as I can, and trying to be as, productive as I can while I'm at work, and making sure that, my Venus is in Aquarius. At the end of the day, I'm trying to help society as much as I can at this point, making it as smooth as I can, but also being conscious of the sanitary aspects. There are certain things that came up on my job that I had to suggest, like, hey, can we do this different, because this X, Y, and Z, the crew also, like, the staff that are working here also need certain aspects of the business to be working for us as well. So I had to suggest some things, and some things changed after I mentioned them. And, just innovating in different ways, using my Venus in Aquarius in a positive light. Now that Saturn is in Aquarius, I am sure that this is going to lead to some beautiful things in my life. But we're going to talk about it in a separate video. But there is definitely a need to innovate, think out of the box, and look at what's wrong and fix it. That's really what Aquarius is going to do. That's really what Sagittarius is going to, that's what Aquarius is going to do. That's what Saturn is going to do in Aquarius. And it's definitely feels like, to us, to the people who are not dealing with it on a, oh, I'm just home, I don't have to go to work, I'm just chilling, I'm eating, I bought all my food, and I'm just chilling at home, binge watching stuff. I mean, that's great, but everybody else who has to work is exhausted. Like, I am exhausted. I've been drained, and this is why for the past couple of weeks, well, I want to say like a week or so, you guys haven't seen me post anything, and it's because I've been exhausted, and also because I literally moved on Monday to my new place, which I'm still cleaning and organizing and going through and getting together. I can't wait to finish organizing it. It's a very beautiful space, and I definitely feel calmer. I still haven't fully cleansed the space, but I don't feel any like negativity in this place either. I wouldn't have moved here if I did. But it's a very calm space, and I do feel like my spirit being calm here. So I'm just like trying to get to that point where I like, even yesterday, and it's so funny because the day before I got, and I mean, yes, you can be like, this is too much information, Abby, in the comments. I don't care. And if you do type in too much information after I say this, your ass is gonna get blocked. I don't care. But I got my menses, okay, the day before yesterday. So yesterday I actually took off from work because they told us in the store, they were like, listen, if you guys need to take a day, because we know you guys have been working really hard, it's not gonna be counted against you in any way, but just take a day or whatever. I took a day because I got my menses, and my cramps were like, they weren't super bad, but they were like annoying enough where I knew that if I was at work and I had to move around a lot, if I didn't take like a Midol or something supportive to like my cramps, that I was just gonna be in pain. And I was just like, you know what, I'm just gonna take a day. And I spent the day, you know, kind of cleaning and stuff, and, you know, organizing some parts of it. And today I told myself I was going to finish doing a couple other things, but I kind of have not been doing that today. I mean, I'm going to try to do it after this video and after I get everything done that I'm supposed to be doing today, because I do have to do the weekly message of the Akashic Records, and there's a couple of readings that I also need to do today, that I also need to get done as well. And there's a couple of announcements that I need to make. On Monday, we're going to have the monthly healing circle. It's going to be at 7:30 on Monday, so on Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you tune in for that. And yeah, I can't wait to hang out with you guys, get a reading on the vibe, and see what's going on for the remaining of Aries season and what's ahead of us. So I can't wait to have that time with you guys. I'm just trying to kind of get back to my flow, but I haven't been doing super much today, but I've been doing a lot of research today, which I kind of been needing to. One of my escapes that I've been doing ever since Aries season starts, because it does trigger, I have an Aries in the 9th house, and Aries is, how do I explain? For me, Aries definitely triggers parts of my journey, because the 9th house does rule education and travel, but it really, to me, because Aries also rules the journey and is Aries season, it always triggers certain parts of my life and things that I need to incorporate into my life, that I've been thinking about or that I've been curious about. And one of those things is like zero waste. And I've always been a huge person that kind of does a lot of like recycling. I love to compost, leaning towards sustainability as well. And even when Donald Trump got elected, the two things that I said that I didn't, that I was worried about with him ruining was the environment and our international relations, which he already did both. Because I love the earth. I think it's important for us to protect it, and I want to lean towards a more zero waste just lifestyle, because first of all, we definitely use way too much plastic, which is why you guys haven't seen my empties either, because my girlfriend was also like, okay, you're not saving trash when you were moving and all this stuff. So I haven't, that's why I didn't get to do it. And I'm probably not going to have my empties anymore for that reason, because I am trying to kind of move away from using so much plastic, and when I really don't need to use as much plastic as we have in this life, as we are kind of proposed to use in this life. Like, it's not necessary. So I'm kind of moving away from that and finding ways to be more sustainable. And then there's definitely going to be little pitfalls and little areas where I am going to have to literally find a way around certain things. But I'm excited to kind of go on that journey and explore different things that I can do. And I feel like this is another thing that's going to also help me with what I stated as far as why I wanted the job that I had, which is eating healthier. If I'm not buying things that are in containers and stuff, generally I'm buying more fresh produce, which means that I am eating healthier. So we'll see how that journey, kind of where that takes me. I'll vlog it for you guys if if you want me to, and I'll share some of my experiences with it as well. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know what I'm gonna do when I'm craving my honey nut O's from Trader Joe's or something, because yo, if Trader Joe's would go bulk, that would be amazing. I'm just saying. Who do I need to call about that? Anyway, so yeah, that's kind of like the mini update to what's going on with my life and why you guys have not seen a lot of me right now. Because I took off yesterday and I'm off today, I feel definitely a little bit more kind of myself. I'm still a little bit brain anxious just because Bae is working, so always thinking about Bae, making sure she's okay. But yeah, and then yesterday I even had to call, my sister called me yesterday, and my dad's a super in New York, and she called me, and my mom had told me that he was being very dismissive about this whole coronavirus thing, but he's also a Republican, so of course he has been. And he is a super, so he touches a lot of different things, specifically like trash, when he has to do the trash as well. And he's been really annoying about like wearing gloves for certain things and washing his hands when he's coming back in the house. And my mom, who's a Cancer, mind you, my dad is a Libra, but my dad is like a toxic Libra, so don't, the other Libras who are watching this video, do not get offended when I say this. But yeah, my mom is a Cancer, so she's very emotional, she's very reactive, and she also has an Aries moon. Okay, so my mom is very like, she's very clean, and I'm very much like my mother when it comes to herbal medicine. My sister is not. She is very like junk food and whatever, and her Aries rising as well is just like, oh Jesus Christ. She's very like in the moment, and her Taurus moon is always just like all up in her love life. But she's a Capricorn as well, so we're both very hardworking, but my sister is definitely not as conscious as me and my mom are. Me and my mom are about certain things, specifically like herbal medicine, things that we take every day, things that we'd use every day, what we're making. Me and my mom are always making something. Me and my mom are always taking something. Me and my mom are always experimenting with something. We're always using the earth in different ways. We're always eating something different. We're always recommending other things. It's always like, and I told my mom yesterday, I was like, it was you and grandma who did this. Like her mom, my grandma. I had lived in DR with my grandmother from my mom's side for about, I want to say like 6-7 years, before I came back to New York, just because my mom, she was a home attendant and she was working like 24 hours, so she couldn't take care of me, and my dad was doing construction, so he couldn't take care of me while I was a baby. So I got sent back to live with my grandma, which is a very common Dominican or like Hispanic Latinx story. Honestly, this is not a new story. There's many of us from my generation that have been sent back to the land and then brought back when we're a little bit more grown. But I got to live with my grandma for a good amount of years, and I learned a lot, and I spent a lot of time in her garden, in different trees, and using different herbs. And she would always tell me, oh, take this for this. It's like the same thing that me and my mom do today. And it's like something that definitely got passed down through the generations, because my mom also got it from her. So it's a very beautiful thing. But my sister's definitely not like that. She was born in the United States, so she never got sent back to live with my grandma at the time, so she got very spoiled. Her story is not a fun one, but she got very spoiled, and so she doesn't necessarily eat the same type of foods as we do. She eats a lot of junk food, lots of fried food, more Americanized than anything, I would say. And so, yeah, so her and my dad tend to be a little bit more stubborn. They're like the stubborn ones in the house, my dad being the most stubborn. And so my sister's just like, oh, he hasn't been taking care of himself and stressing out mom. And I was like, okay, I'm just gonna call you back. I'm just gonna call him. And I had to call my dad because he does this thing where he doesn't listen to anybody else other than me sometimes, because he has this thing about bragging. And this is why I say my dad is a toxic Libra, because he does this thing where he loves to brag about different things. And the way he brags about me is that I graduated from college. So he will say, oh, well, Abby's the only one in the family that graduated and all these things. And he'll brag and he'll do these things. And, oh, he got a Mercedes. He's going to brag to all his friends that he got a Mercedes. Oh, he does this. Oh, he's going to brag about this. So he loves to brag about certain things. But because he knows that I am college graduated, he also knows that I can check him when it comes to facts. And I called him and I gave him all the facts. And I was just like, okay, I need you to not stress out mom, because it's very, very annoying to me to hear like, oh, to call mom or mom's calling me and just like, oh, your dad's doing this and it's stressing me out. And I'm just like worried. I'm cleaning all the time. Like, I don't need my mom, who is a Cancer. And if you're a Cancer watching this video, if somebody's doing something that you know you don't want them to do, you already know how irritated you get. That's exactly how my mom is feeling, except like double, because she has an Aries moon. So there is a little bit more of like an agitation that's happening, triggering emotionally, because my mom can definitely go from 0 to 100 quickly because of her Aries moon, even though she's a Cancer. And she like went off on him like the other day, just like, no, you're not taking care of yourself. If you and my mom is older than him too. Granted, she's definitely healthier than he is, but she's older than him by, I want to say, 12 years, I believe it is. And my dad, throughout most of my life, he's always thought of himself as the young one. So he's been very dismissive up to the point where his body started showing him that he can't do certain things anymore. And like with his knees and like with like certain part, like it's just like he's been very frustrated about certain things, but he still likes to be like the machismo, like I'm a Libra, I'm still good, I'm still like, you know, like all this stuff. And I'm just like, I need you to listen. I need you to take care of yourself. I need you to wash your hands when you get to the house, because I don't want to call mom and hear about this again. And so I had to like go off on him, and then he calmed down, and then he went home and he talked to my mom. So that's another thing that I had to deal with yesterday. It's just been like, honestly, this whole entire thing has been like a hot mess. It's just been like a hot mess. And honestly, I just want everybody to just go into quarantine already so we can beat it in 2 months and then, you know, enjoy our summertime. Because I really do not want to be locked up during Leo season. That's like one of my favorite seasons. Every year, it's just the best. So I just want to be happy, travel, and have good times. That's all I want. And eat bomb food. But right now, that's not really what it is. So because things have been more internalized and like, you know, being a homebody to an extent, even though I'm barely home again because I am working. I'm working more than I was before and harder than I was before. I've just been really exhausted, and I haven't been able to, like, I know some people have been emailing me and stuff like that. I haven't been able to get back to you guys because it's been really crazy. And to an extent, I might pause on doing readings for like maybe after this week. I might pause doing readings for maybe, I don't know, a month or so, just so I can just, because I feel like I need to go on vacation. I feel like I need to be by the beach and relax, and just relax, because this whole situation has been very stressful. I need to just be with Yamaya in peace for a couple hours. And yeah, I'm just really exhausted. I'm just really tired. And if I was like everyone else and I had a different job and I was doing, you know, and I got laid off because, you know, nobody's working right now, especially in my area, then I would have just been home and I would have been working on other projects and other, you know, and working on YouTube and doing other things for you guys as well. But that's not the case, because I am taking a certain amount of the weight of this pandemic on me as well, because I'm essential. it does, it's very exhausting. I'm just being honest. Like, I understand my role. I am, you know, grateful that I get to do what I do. I'm very grateful that my girlfriend gets to do what she does as well. It's very important. We help people eat and be fed, and that's really important. But it's exhausting. there's like there's like good and bads to it, and right now I'm just trying to kind of cope with it and just try to relax. I want to finish cleaning the room so I can kind of get back into my yoga flow as well, because our bodies have been murdering us. Like, I am so exhausted. I've been gaining muscles in places that it's just been, it's been a lot. It's definitely been a lot. So just be a little patient with me. If you're expecting an email or a DM back or something back from me at this time, just please be a little patient with me. Because right now is definitely not the time to be rushing me right now about anything. I am just super tired. I'm super exhausted. I'm glad I had to kind of these back-to-back 2 days off, because I'm working the next, I think, 3 days straight. So who knows what those will bring. And the other thing is that, like, sometimes, like, my managers will call me and, like, they'll want to change my schedule because they're like, oh, can you come early instead of closing, because, you know, like, we had like 11 call outs today and we really need support, because they'll know that I'll show up, because I'm, you know, I'm always like, I always just show up. I rarely like call out like that. So, and so, like, my schedule has gotten changed a bunch of times, my sleeping schedule. Like, I hate morning shifts, but, like, I'll do it if I have to at this point, just to help out. And I mean, I guess to an extent it also helps, because it minimizes the amount of time I get exposed to the public, because the store opens at a certain time, and for a certain time I'm just pushing out products, which is so cool. So still kind of working out through all the kinks of everything, but just exhausted. So please pray for me. Please keep me in your thoughts. It's been a very chaotic time, but I hope that everybody else has been getting to do different things and handling it differently. Hopefully everybody is working through the times, and I mean, definitely trying to innovate during this time is a very beautiful thing to do, especially now that Saturn is in Aquarius. What could we be doing better? What needs to change? What have you not had time to work on that you have time to work on right now? Stop binge watching on Netflix and start working on certain stuff. And mind you, I'm definitely speaking to myself when I say this, because I have been binge watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine while I've been cooking and while I've been cleaning yesterday, but I was cleaning, so yes. But what could you be doing better? What do we need to focus on? And I actually pulled some cards for this conversation that we were going to be having, because I wanted to update you guys, and you guys know I can talk a lot, so I'm sorry this video is like 30 something minutes long, but I'm going to end with the cards, okay? For the cards have the truth, okay? So I pulled out 5 cards, and I know I touched my face. My hands is clean. Relax. 5 cards. We got the 6 of Swords, the 4 of Pentacles, Judgment, the 9 of Cups, and then the outcome is the Knight of Wands. Bottom of the deck, we have Justice and the Queen of Cups. And honestly, I feel like this is such a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful time to look at how we're going to move forward differently than we have been before. How are we going to move on as a society, as people, as a family, as a community, with a little bit of a better foundation than what we've been doing before? And this is consciously. This is what these seeds that we're planting consciously that then become a traditional state of mind. How are we integrating that? How are we looking at everything in our space? And this goes back to even me. Like, I'm taking this message because, listen, if I'm pursuing a more zero waste lifestyle, I have to go into judgment mode and look at you know, what I've been doing, how I've been contributing, what I could be doing better, what things I need to finish and find substitutes for, what things I need to finish that I don't really care to find substitutes for, and such like that. Like, it applies in so many different ways. What thing can you be doing right now that is going to help you move towards when the future comes for you to be in this fully blown liberation where you're just like content, happy, and in your element, holding all your cups. You chose those cups, you picked those cups, you've worked towards those cups, and now you are enjoying all of those things. What things can you be doing now that can get you there? What is it that needs to be karmically balanced on a spiritual level, on a physical level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level, that need to happen right now, that you need to start integrating into your space right now in order to help you in who you're becoming in the future, in you mastering this journey that is your life. How is it supposed to look like? What rules is it going to have? Like, what do these cups look like? Because these cups might look different to me than it does to you, but they're cups of importance. They're emotional, a moment of like that emotional happiness where you're just like, I have everything that I want, but everything that you want doesn't look like what everybody else wants. So break down that American dream. What is it that you dream? What is it that you want? What do you want to integrate? How can you be better? What can you do that could make you better? What habits can you be starting right now within your home space? In your home space, mind you, be very aware, your home space is a very a very important place to build foundations in, because the habits you start at home trickle out into other places. So what can you be doing at home right now that can elevate your practice? Whether you're a witch, whether you're, you know, just trying to do yoga, whether you're playing music, whether you're writing, like, what can you do? What do you need to tap into? What parts of your mind do you need to just sit down and have a conversation? Do you need to talk to somebody? Do you need to just listen to different sounds? Do you need to just like listen to different animals? Like, I've literally, me and my girlfriend tried to fall asleep to whale sounds a couple of weeks ago, just for the sake of like, because we were watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, and Terry had like this one where like we were watching the episode where he's like, I sleep with my whale songs. So we were like, let's listen to whale songs, and it was actually a very beautiful experience. But what could you be doing differently? What new way can you be meditating? What new access? What new part of your crown? Where do you want to access? Where do you want to go? What planet do you want to go to? Do you want to time travel right now? This is a really good time to actually be doing some time traveling work. It's also a great time to do some Akashic Records work. And on that note, I am going to, the next video that's going to go up, which obviously not everybody's going to be able to see unless you are on my Patreon, is going to be the Akashic Records workshop, where I'm going to be teaching you guys how to read the Akashic Records. And this is going to definitely be a very powerful time to do some Akashic Records work, especially because Saturn is in Aquarius now. And Aquarius rules the crown chakra. It rules those upper realms. It's the access. It is that point that connects you up there. So it is a very powerful time to be kind of doing this work, doing a lot of past life work, healing work, connecting with the divine. It's just a really great time to be doing, like, what could you be doing? What does this look like? Look at what, like, judge yourself. Literally sit down, and instead of being like, I hate myself because I don't know, I ate that candy yesterday, oh my God. Like, instead of doing all that and being annoying, like, just be like, okay, you know what? You know, I don't like that this comes in this. Or like, you know, I don't like that I kind of bought that yesterday. Or I don't like that, like, I haven't been able to get this like pose properly in yoga, or like get this like in motion the way I wanted to. Or I don't like just start hearing yourself out. Start trying to sort out the gunk, and put yourself in a position where you're actually doing what it is that you want to do, and giving yourself windows and doors that you want to walk through right now, because just because you can't leave your house doesn't mean that you can't move, and that you can't make moves either. So get to work. I hope y'all enjoyed this very long update, but y'all know I could talk a lot. Y'all blame my Gemini moon. Okay. I will see you guys in the next video. And I will see you guys in the live next week. I'm gonna have the weekly video poll on the Patreon as well, so they can vote on the video for this week. I'm going to try to get back on the flow. I'm filming, especially now that I've finished moving. I just need to finish organizing everything. I don't even have the space ready for where I'm gonna be filming in the background and everything, and so it can look cute for y'all yet. So stay tuned for that. That's gonna come eventually. But yeah, I'm trying to get it together day by day. We're kind of moving through some stuff. So don't be mad at me that or be mad at me, I don't care. But, you know, don't be too mad that I've been like MIA. I had a lot of reasons to be MIA. And I'm still kind of building up my energy. So send me some positive vibes. I'm sending you guys some love and some positive vibes as well. Also, don't forget to check out the Patreon, because that is going to definitely be where the most updates are going to be posted, just because they are getting the most content right now as well. So stay tuned for that, and don't forget to subscribe. I will see you guys in the next video.